1983.
Hey, you guys! It is Wednesday. We're back. It's Wednesday. What's today? What is
Wednesday,
today? March
24,
March the
26,
26th.
6.
I'm
The
sorry.
26th.
We're still in March. It's still my birthday money. Still my birthday month. Hold on. Let me do some
It's half
sharing.
the cast birthday month.
I know, right? Let me do some sharing really quick. If you're watching, please like and share this. Please like and share. We can't do anything without your support. So again, please like and share. It costs $0 to hit that share button. Anyways, we're back after our 3-week, 2.5 week hiatus. I don't know how long it was. Marcus is on vacation. Brandy is on vacation. Melanie is on vacation. Half of our cast is on vacation. My green screen just fell. Anyways,
He's on vacation.
So Darius is here with us. Our brother from another mother is here with us today to break down everything that's going on in pop culture. Hold on, you guys. This is a live show. It's just like on stage show. It's not. Let me get my green screen.
Okay, that's how you do it right there, baby. Bloopers.
The whole screen back up. People put the background back up.
You will
that
not.
green,
You won't get this
that
any
green
other
screen
where anywhere else. Right here, baby. Yes,
that
right
green
here.
screen said, I'm on vacation too.
Boom bop.
We need like that old school technical difficulties.
I'm having trouble, you
know
guys.
what I mean? Like,
Yes.
it keeps getting worse and worse. I love it. You're gonna get there, my friend.
I'm not a techie. I'm talent. I'm not used to doing this tech stuff.
Okay, and we're back.
There it is. Success.
Whoop, whoop.
Oh, come
At
on.
the same time, it's like a
I know, like
Okay.
I planned it.
We're back. I'm sorry, you guys. Like I said, this is a live show. Anyways, so we have Darius here today, and we have the rest of our lovely cast. How's everyone doing? Natasha, what's up with you up in Grand Rapids, Michigan?
I'm doing good up here. Just trying to wait for our weather to make up its mind because we have had 70s and snow within the same week. And so I'm just kind of waiting for that to balance out. Other than that, just the whole mama thing. That's about it.
Okay, all right. That sounds
Yeah,
okay.
I ain't got nothing special.
Matt, how are you down in the ATL Hotlanta?
Gosh, in the last, I turned 41 on March 17th.
Happy birthday!
If I might be frank, it was the birthday from what we used to say as kids, HE double hockey sticks. It was terrible.
Oh
yeah. That previous storm, the weekend preceding my birthday, it was on a Monday. We had that crazy southern storms that have been coming in. It breezed on through Georgia. I ended up with a hole in the side of my roof, and critters then came in to nest. And then
I would have left. They could have had the house. Go ahead.
And then emissions. We need to pass emissions to drive in Georgia. Of course, I forgot about that in the craziness that was going on. And then my car could not pass emissions. And so then it was a week of going back and forth on my vehicle to get it to pass emissions so that I could get the tag legal. Because, of course, I waited to the last minute. And so then, and then in general, just things that you deal with in general in life. So 41, it felt like it was brutal. And but on the flip side, I have survived it all. That car is actually going back to the shop because I'm headed to a wedding this weekend. And so it's just been a lot. I think this month has slammed maybe all of us. And so I am happy to be alive. I am happy to see 41. I'm already ready for 42.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah, ask away.
You're alive, aren't you?
Yes.
He woke you up this morning. Somebody didn't. So
Grateful. And I am finding that perspective all around me. And every problem that I have handled. The hold is closed. The vehicle is back and forth in working condition. I'm grateful that I'm able to deal with my problems, but man, I felt them all. It's been a year already.
well, I love you. We love you.
Yeah, so
Love is with you.
yeah, keep praying for me.
Happy birthday.
I mean, 41, right? Like, wow.
So next let's go to Detroit over to Michael, where I have to apologize. I was in Michael City this weekend, but I was there for a funeral and I didn't expect it to be like this. It was event after event after event after event. My uncle was a very high up in the Church of God in Christ. And anybody know about the Church of God in Christ, when you're a bishop or anything like that, they have numerous services, it's not just one. There was a musical, then there was a memorial service, and then there was a funeral on Saturday, and then there was an event afterwards. So it was just something after something, Michael. And we didn't even have the time to really breathe. So I'm sorry, but I will be back in Detroit in a couple of weeks, and we will do what we need to do.
Don't worry at all, my friend. It's totally understandable. I held space for you though, for the record. All right. So
Okay.
next time, we'll connect. No, life's been good. Listen, it hit me the other day. The nature of my career in business. You keep secrets as a lawyer, right?
Mm-hmm.
We live in interesting times. There's a lot of things I wish I could say that I can't, and we live in interesting and I have an interesting life. So for both of those things, I'm grateful. And I'll leave it there.
Awesome. Quick and to the point. Darius, how are you?
I'm good. I also shared a birthday this month and got another year older. And
Happy birthday.
and I wound up going in the hospital for a couple of days after my birthday. So, March has been interesting for me as well. I spent 3 days in the hospital, but I am good. I am thankful that I am yet still alive.
Yes, preach that.
And as I get older, maybe I get better.
Amen.
Yes.
Because I can survive this stuff. It would have been debilitating. Now it's just incredibly troublesome. Y'all know we've been in the retrograde, right? That's what we did.
That would explain a lot.
Mm-hmm.
You know what?
Yeah.
You know what, though, Shaq? I and Tamar, we're gonna get to you about your time off, but I look now as I get older, and I'm seeing a lot of things. Our parents, I'm like, how did our parents do this? And my mom had a kid. I don't have a kid. Like, how did they do this?
That's why we so dysfunctional, y'all.
Listen.
They was trying.
Tamar, how are you down in Texas?
Hi y'all. So good to be back. And yeah, we are in retrograde right now. So everybody meditate, cleanse, sage, read your Bible, whatever spiritual practices you practice. I'm really big on that stuff. I've been having a lot of anxiety. Like when it's like the retrograde and the full moon and stuff, I'm an empath by nature, so I can feel so many energies. So I have to protect myself. I have to come in my house and do like a whole day of meditation. Like I've been really focusing on that like around these times, but everything's good so far. We're still trucking away in Dallas, Texas, with Hot Wheels. Not just kidding. But no, life is good. Like my business is going good, work is good. I have no complaints right now. None. I'm grateful that I'm in this place right now because a lot of people are not. So yeah.
Right. Awesome. Yeah. That's good to hear. So you guys, a lot of people have been, I get inboxes and some of my cousins ask my opinion. We've missed a lot of stuff happened while we were gone. And so I decided that we're going to go back and cover some stuff because a lot of people want to know what we have to say, what our opinions are about some of the stuff that's happened. And some of it is still in the news, today. So it's not that old. But while we were gone, the Housewives of Atlanta came back to Bravo, and they came back to mixed reviews. I don't know everybody on this panel watches Housewives of Atlanta, but I know Natasha does. I know Darius, you watch it. Michael, I don't know if you do. I don't know if Tamar does. I don't know, Shaq. Shaq, do you watch
I
Housewives
do.
of Atlanta? Is it? Okay, so let's start with
I do.
Natasha. Really quick, it's like a funeral, 2 minutes.
Mhm.
What did you think about the reboot?
We gonna get there. Shamia. That's really all I gotta say right there. Shamia done had it going on this whole time, and she been quiet about it this whole time. I don't think I'm gonna really like Brit too much. Portia, my girl, but I think that I'm gonna end up falling off of her. It's gonna be interesting to see Phaedra come back, and I definitely miss Kenya. And I think that Kenya is gonna actually end up being vindicated after this season with the whole Brit situation, because I'm not really feeling Brit right now. And apparently Brit has said something about Shamia's child. So at this point, we're going to see what happens as the season unfolds.
Okay, I agree. I agree with you some. Marcus says, yes, our HOA, these new girls are not giving. It reminds me of a dry love in hip hop. Most definitely. I'll go next. I like Brit. You know, I'm a lover of villains. I think she's gonna be the new villain on the show. I like her so far. She gives fashion, she gives rich, she gives, socialite. So I like her. Kelly, the verdict's still out about her. Shamia, I think she's trying too hard. Phaedra, her story's just not adding up to me. Drew is kind of boring. And who else? Cynthia doesn't fit with this group at all. I don't know where, I don't know why they even talk. She just doesn't fit. She looks left out. She looks
old. Episode yet?
Huh?
Has Phaedra even
been Portia? You mean Portia?
No.
Cynthia.
Portia.
I said Cynthia doesn't fit with
No,
this.
you said Cynthia, but you were saying Phaedra before, but I think you meant Portia.
Yeah.
Oh,
Phaedra
yeah,
hasn't
Portia.
popped up yet.
No, Portia hasn't come. Yeah, Portia, I'm not really her. I don't like the way she went at Drew. And that's my take on it. I think they're going with a younger cast. I don't know if the true viewers are going to like that, or what do you think, Darius, of the show?
The
most.
So Kelly to me is going to be the new Kenya. She's
think so?
I think
very messy between her and Brit.
Okay.
I think it's gonna be Brit.
They're crying entirely too hard. Shamia, I think, was better as a friend of the show.
Yeah.
Portia and old girl, the one Drew Sidora.
Mm-hmm.
I actually like Drew and I like Portia, but this whole thing about Dennis is to me it's just not giving. Like they need to bring back some folks. These young, I understand trying to bring in some new girls. Baby, y'all need Nene back. Y'all need Marlo.
Yeah.
Y'all need Candy back.
It'll be nice to see Lisa Hartwell back.
You know,
it would be nice if they went like old school.
Word on the never mind. Nope. Yeah. What do you think? Who's next? Who wants to go next? Michael, do you watch Housewives?
Listen, I don't always get to watch it. I read the recaps though. It's too early for me to pass judgment on the season. I will say Bravo's had a bad track record with these reboots, but in this instance, the ratings are very good. I'm reading. So it seems like the potential is actually here. And I think what will happen if this isn't the mix, okay, they're going to keep rotating in these stars. You'll see Nene will be on again. You'll see Kenya again. I agree. She may get vindicated. That whole situation seems a little suspect to me. So I think they're close. If this isn't it, I think they're close.
Okay. Marcus says Kelly is rude as F. Kelly is given, I'm just going to come in and do the most. Yeah, those new girls, you can tell they're just coming in. The producer's just like, get some screen time. Nene and Marlo will definitely give, and Sheba Sheree don't got no fashions, even though nice. Who else watched the show?
I watched it.
And what'd you think?
Shamia, I mean, she's coming too strong for me. Like, girl, calm down. We see that you have a huge house with all this white marble. We get you rich. I feel like she's trying too hard because she never really had a peach. So she feels like she has to come in and just really go and show. For me, Britt is the new Kenya Moore. You got to remember when Kenya first came, Britt is giving the same energy that Kenya came in the show on season 5 with. I feel like Britt can be she can be molded and like they can like really work with her on how to be in front of the TV. I think she hasn't really had that, but she's a fashion girl. And to me, she's going to give you good TV because she, for me, is a new villain. Kelly, girl, all I know about her, she got chicken and waffles. I don't know nothing else about her. Shamia, her man, she's rich. We know that.
She got the money.
She got the money. Portia,
she got the money.
Portia and Drew. I think, Drew is a lot, but also you can't blame Drew for what your baby daddy's doing. Like if you want to help him,
he's a grown ass man.
Yeah, but still, I feel Portia.
Also, I do feel her because she is going to be
the main girl. Yeah. So, and for her baby daddy to be filming with somebody else, if I was Portia, I would have a problem with that too.
I feel like Portia. Okay. I don't know what the point of them bringing her back because I haven't really felt like she should be the face of Atlanta right now. Like she's not
but they're trying to make Shamia, and I think that's why you're feeling Shamia coming on so strong right now, because I think honestly they're trying to make Shamia the face of Atlanta now.
Right. And if you see like the whole like who's connected to, she's in the middle, so she's connected to all these people.
It's right here. So Shamia's in the middle,
she's connected to all these people. Angela, I like Angela.
The verdict is out on Angela. I'm waiting for her. I'm waiting.
Exactly. I like that she's holding people. Like, I like the fact that she did kind of hold Shamia accountable with the whole Drew thing, because I do feel like Shamia came in hard on Drew and did asked all these questions. And then she said, I didn't say that, but girl, we saw you said it. Right. So Angela, for me, I'm still trying to see when she's going to clock in. But we haven't seen her clock in just yet. But I do like I like Britt. I love Britt. I think she's the new Kenya. Like when Kenya first came, I did not like Kenya Moore. I'm not to be real. I was like, girl, she's too much. But Britt is giving the same energy. So
who husband you think Britt gonna try to go after?
I really think they're gonna do this whole spin-off. Well, so the gag is Shamia and Kelly. Shamia and Kelly are going in on her on social media. So I don't know what's going to happen with Kelly and Britt because they're besties. But see, the thing
they fell out.
This is the same thing happened to Kenya. Like Kenya came in, she was doing all this extra, and then all of a sudden the girls wasn't feeling her, and now Kenya Moore is that girl. So
that's it. But the only thing is, she got to be careful. I don't think we're gonna have enough time for Britt to evolve from being such a mean girl to where Kenya is now, because I don't see these franchises going on very much longer. I don't see them going another 10 years. So she's going to have to figure it out quickly and pivot quickly if that's where she's trying to go.
Baby,
because I don't think she's going to have that much time.
Who is killing them, baby, is Married to Medicine.
Yeah, that shows. Yeah, we were just watching the reunion before I came in here. That's when we started late and low key.
They went most of the Housewives franchises.
Yeah, well, we have a whole season to go, so we'll be talking about this more. So, my girl, you got anybody who knows Ashley, Aaron, knows that In Vogue was my everything when I was a little boy. Like, I had all their posters over my wall, all their CDs, all their singles, their cassettes, their records my mom bought me. I still have all that stuff. Dawn Robinson was in the news. She was my favorite member of In Vogue. Yes. I did an interview with her a couple of years ago, if you remember that. I don't know if some of you
Great interview.
Thank you so much. I'm still in contact with her. I texted her the other day. She's been in the news about sleeping in her car. And this is a volunteer thing she did. It wasn't like she had to, the story was she was living with her mom. That didn't go very well. And then her manager was supposed to get her an apartment. That didn't pan out. So she's like, I'm going to live in my car. There's a whole community of people who do that. And this has went viral. And since then, there's been a lot of different opinions. So let's talk about it. What do we think? I know you guys have all seen all over. What do we think? Natasha, I'll start with you.
So we can definitely all say that Dawn is the common denominator here, but the fact that things didn't work out with her mother, I think we might have an idea of where her problems have stemmed from, because definitely I'm sure that mother got some issues going on too, or that's been a fractured relationship. Let's just say that. But when it all is said and done, Dawn has been making a conscious decision to not go where she can actually make herself some money and not sleep in her car. Or she could even have a YouTube channel. I actually do watch some of the YouTube channels with people actually willingly sleeping in their cars, and they are actually making money off of it. But Dawn is making choices in all of this. And I think at this point, nobody can save Dawn from herself. So if she is making these choices to willingly live in her car, to not actually want to be in a group where she can actually make money to sustain herself, then we just need to let her make her choices. We can't feel bad for someone who is making conscious decisions for themselves. I believe in self-determination. You can determine what you want to do, even in the midst of mental illness and everything else that goes along with it. As a social worker, I can only ask my clients to do what they're willing to do. So even if it's against anything that I believe that they should do, I can only do so much for them that they're willing to accept. And that's just really what it is. So we just got to let Dawn be at this point.
Okay, Shaq, what do you think about the situation?
As a super fan, same. I mean, the minute you said their name, I could hear them. I could hear them harmonizing in my head. I love the original In Vogue lineup, and at this big age, in this moment in time, for her to be alive and well and still able to sing and not on stage is, and not be on stage in this group. And this group is like actively touring and stuff. It is just bittersweet for me.
They're touring in arenas. They're like in stadiums.
They are still there. And
Yeah.
I mean, not seeing her on stage with them, I mean, then she did her Lucy Pearl thing. And so I think what we continuously see is that for whatever reasons, we do not see this talent on stage. And to finally get her in the news and she talking about being in a car and she not singing in that car,
Right.
I can't wrap my mind around it. I would really just like to hear her sing. And I wish that she could figure it out, because what we see is all these old groups figuring it out. We remember when Escape had stopped. We remember when we weren't seeing a lot of SWV, and now they're out on tour together. Like these women are just choosing to get out there and bring us content. And so it makes me sad not to see her get out there, because she is so pivotal to R&B, and R&B is out there. With that being said, she's an adult. So,
okay. Michael, what about you?
My thoughts on this were very different. I hear you both about accountability, but my first thought was this is a person, a rare talent, very, very skilled. How is it that En Vogue is this massive brand still to this day making money, and she is able, or forced, to sleep in a car? Whether she's a part of it or not, it is not fair that she added the value to that brand. People are still making money off of it, and she gets zero or so little that she has to live in the car because accommodations otherwise may be difficult. Things were different back then. Things were different back then. Okay, but it's not too late to make these things right when it comes to what the artist should be getting paid on all the people, all right, that have had food on their tables because of her. It's not right.
Well, we just saw Angie Stone pass, and her final words were about her money and not getting her money. So this is a thing with artists, and it's weird to live in these times.
It's
mostly black artists.
Yeah.
It's
but how is
black
she being
artists.
forced? How is she being forced if she chooses to not go back to the group?
Okay, well, let me interject here. So I don't know, I said, I did an interview with her, and she was explaining to me how they earn 2 pennies per album.
Mm-hmm.
So there's 4 girls, and all they got from the Funky Diva album, which was their biggest album. They each received 2 pennies per album. I don't know how many albums they sold. I don't know, but that's why Dawn originally started waving the red flag. And then, some other stuff happened. I won't go through the whole timeline, but now they have Rona, who's been in the group for the last 13 years. And now Maxine is back. So there's 4. But Dawn, this is their 35th anniversary. And Dawn is saying she will go back if Rona is not there. She doesn't feel that Rona helped build the group from the bottom up. It's not Rona's 35th anniversary, so she doesn't feel Rona should be there. En Vogue is saying, well, Rona's been here since you were not here, so we're not going to make her leave to make you feel comfortable. So therefore, Dawn is like, well, I'm not going back. So that's where she is. I don't know if you guys knew that part of it, but
so she's making a decision based on their decision. So again, how is she forced?
No, I'm saying, listen, she should be making money whether she's a part of it now or not. That is how these things should be set up. That's
yes,
what equity
I agree.
is. So,
I agree.
That's the conversation I think we should all be having, and not saying, well, Dawn should be a part of it. She's a great talent. Of course, I'd love to see her there. She's got her reasons. They have theirs. Who's to say what's right or wrong? But what isn't fair is that people are making a lot of money off of En Vogue to this day, including the tracks that she was on and the albums that she was on. And she's obviously in a situation where she can't even have her own place. These people shouldn't be sleeping well at night.
Right. And Michael.
And they sleeping like babies.
When you saying, I don't know, when you see En Vogue perform live, Dawn's ad-libs are still, they're still on the track.
They have to be. The songs aren't.
But this is the thing. This is why I understand what Michael's saying. It's like, even though I'm not there, you guys are gaining revenue. Mm-hmm. I should get a check just off of my presence on those spaces. I get what Natasha said. I get both sides, but I feel like sometimes a lot of artists get taken advantage of, and for me, I look at it as where is the mental capacity? Like, if she's in a great place to even be able to stand up for herself, she may not feel like no one's standing up for her. And she got 4 people that she may think, okay, if I try to approach this situation, are they even going to hear me? I also look at this as sometimes we have to swallow our pride and do what we need to do and go and be a part of something that's bigger than me. Sometimes people take art and they put it in a box, but art is not supposed to be in a box. And she's such a great artist, and it's so sad that she's not. I don't know the situation. I don't know the conversations that she's saying. I'm only the outside looking within. Mm-hmm. It's sad that the differences that they have cannot be put aside so they can be making a moment. Like, we as a society, I know everybody loves En Vogue. I don't care who you are, white, black, people love them. That's why they're touring across this, all over places. People love them. And if people see her a part of that, that's big. So I don't know what that conversation needs to be, but I look from both sides. Like, she was one of the main focal points of that group when they first came out. Why she's not getting a check, or if she's not in fit, if she may not feel like she's being vindicated for what she deserved, but her ad-libs are on there. Like, she did a lot of work for that group when she first came out. So I don't know.
It's supposed to be, baby. She ain't interested in the conversation. From what
there's some very deep hurt there. Like,
hurt.
Like,
she feels betrayed.
And I've asked her over and over and over. I said, Dawn, just go and get on stage. You don't have to talk to them. Just go perform, and you go your separate ways afterwards. And that's not even an option.
And she's standing on business in the Nissan Altima. Okay.
But let me tell you. Tell you, sometimes you have to do that to get the reward that you need in the end.
Right.
Like, if you think about a person that stood on business, Monique never changed her story. She stood on business. She stayed. She did not change.
Huh?
And she's, she back out. She back out there again.
I don't want to go down that road. Let's go
Okay.
to the next subject.
My bad.
I know everybody watched the Breakfast Club. So earlier this last week, Just Hilarious was on. She was on maternity leave, and while she was on maternity leave, this young lady by the name of Lauren LaRosa came in filling her spot, and she's kind of not left since Just Hilarious has come back. Do I have the footage? Hold on, you guys. I thought I had it. Oh, yeah, here we go.
And even how when I came back, how I picked her. Yes, it was weird. Yeah, I at first no, I did not. I wasn't too fond of Lauren. No, I wasn't too fond of her when I came back because we had a whole plan. Even how when I came back, how I picked her to fill in for me, right? I come back, she ain't never leave. Then, all right, cool that she don't leave, but she's on only during my segment. If she was meant to be a fourth host, move her in another way. Why she got to be moved in on? Because nobody had a problem with Just with the Mess until she started reading right. You know what I mean? Till she started reporting. I wasn't hired as a reporter. I was hired as Just with the Mess. So she started reading and delivering details and all that stuff. Yes. Then that's when Just with the Mess wasn't good enough no more.
So the night before this live on the Breakfast Club, Just Hilarious went on live and went off, was talking about Charlemagne, was talking about DJ Envy, was talking about the Breakfast Club as a brand itself, throwing them under the bus. And the next day they come back and have this conversation on air. What do you guys feel of? I have some feelings about this. I'll go last. I'll go first. Just like we are on this cast, there are 12 of us in our cast. Sometimes other people can't be here. I don't think there's any jealousy between us. We are a family. You know, there's the core 4 or 5. We know who that is. And then everyone else, fills in, cast A, cast B. And Darius comes and joins us sometime. I don't think anybody's jealous when he comes. It should be like that. So what do you guys think has gone wrong at the Breakfast Club, Michael?
Oh, starting with me. Okay, I want to be diplomatic here. I can see how that situation for her would feel tough. Clearly, her actions did not get the result I think she wanted. It's not being perceived well. But I'm trying myself personally to give a little grace. She did just have a child. I know that can throw things off for a bit. Maybe she's dealing with something behind the scenes, and it's coming out through her work, just like it does with all of us from time to time. I wish her the best. I don't see how this one works out well, though.
Marcus, is that like final, or did you hear that somewhere?
No, that's final. That what he just said, that it just got announced on the neighborhood.
Really?
Yeah.
She has a show.
This is the thing. While you're sitting here crying and doing all these antics and getting on live, you could have just had a conversation off air. Like, we want the Breakfast Club. We don't want to see you give all your grievances. This is not an HR meeting. What it's doing for me and what it shows is that you can't handle when someone else comes in a space with you and share the table. Because if you're just with the mess, stay there. Like, that's your goal. She's just here for a moment. She's not even gonna be there anymore. So you did all that for nothing. And she's a producer. She even said, like, I'm a producer. Like, I'm just here to help. Mm-hmm. But that's what they do. People come in and help. But you did all this, and now people are not even gonna look at you as just with the mess. We're gonna look at just with the tears, because all you giving us is tears and crying. So it's like, you have to, if you have an issue with something, don't take it to the ground. I don't know what that is.
Why is everyone?
It's so weird to me.
I have so many thoughts on that.
Have a grown conversation, because that's what you should do.
Let Shaq go.
I think I love the internet, right? The cool thing about the internet is that talent can be discovered, and people who maybe couldn't have gotten in or didn't have a way in to do things can do things. That's why people like us are now having our own show and doing our thing and enjoying ourselves. It's why somebody like Jess can be discovered. She's like she's like an Instagram personality or whatever, internet personality. And then that catapults her all the way to the Breakfast Club. Like, that's huge. But see, with every great thing, there is a downside. And I think the downside of this new internet booming generation is that we lose the things that also get you to places like professionalism and years of working and learning rules and decorum and learning how to interact with people and learning how to maneuver without blowing things up. And so I think that when you bring in someone or an internet personality, they may be an internet personality, they may not be a professional personality.
Exactly.
And then you see this sort of thing where somehow it all just gets blown up on camera, and again, it doesn't look good for her, and it just didn't look good. I don't think that there's a, like, we're right now, the energy is women empowerment, women togetherness, women are doing their thing, you know, the world is on fire, and black women are not going to be on fire with it. And this girl is just on the Breakfast Club. You are not the main one, and you're mad at this young lady who has somehow done a good enough job to solidify her presence. And that's the thing. What we saw before even Jess got her job were people going in and out of the Breakfast Club, right? So it was a rotation. People were in and out, in and out. They were clearly looking for something. So this girl didn't take or steal anything from you. She did something that worked.
Added it, right, yeah.
So, and so this is not the time to be a hater, because whatever she has, clearly it's clicking. And at the end of the day, entertainment is entertainment. And so if something about her works, then it works. And so, you know, your goal should be able to come in and remind us why you work and why you were there first. And instead, we're just like, so, you know, but again, I think, like I said, I love what the internet has done. I love that we all can now get to the table. But man, there is a reason why people haven't always been able to sit at tables, because this just was a mess. And let me tell you, in my opinion, the Breakfast Club tends to be controversial anyway. I mean, Charlemagne and his long history, all the crap with DJ Envy, you know, it tends to be cesspoolish, and the women tend to be the anchor. And now, just as messy as those dudes, and it's just
right. Darius, what do you think?
I have a very different outlook on this. There have been lots of criticisms about Jess since she's been on the show, that she's not professional when they have guests. She's not knowledgeable.
She's a comedian.
Her presence in terms of being able to engage with people, there's been a lot of criticism on those points. I don't believe that she picked Lauren. I don't believe that she had a hand in that decision. There are producers and people that make those decisions. What I think, honestly, I think they were thinking about replacing her. And I think Jess knew that she possibly was on the chopping block. You bring this young lady who was a producer, but who is also a journalist, and who is better at doing your job than you. So she comes back, and all of a sudden she's feeling threatened because this girl is still here. Her doing that live the other night, I think her days are numbered.
Yeah,
I think they recognize the potential that this young lady Lauren has, and that's why she got her own show. I think though that Jess's time is coming to an end. She's a great comedian. I think her time is running short.
I think she should have leaned into her comedy and made the best of her time. That should have been her end goal, is to remind people why she's there, instead of it becoming this thing with this person taking my spot. Like, at the end of the day, you're not a journalist, and we know that, but you are the funny. And this is the time to lean into the funny and solidify what you do. And it just doesn't seem like that was the focus. I don't really get that, other than what I said, which is that, you know, people just going anywhere, you know, they're not following traditional paths. And yes, there are roadblocks in traditional paths, but we learn from roadblocks as well too. So
I have I have a legal question from Michael.
Yeah.
So I didn't watch the whole live video she did on Instagram, but I do know she called out iHeartRadio and the Breakfast Club as brands and her man. So is there something legally she shouldn't have, like, she shouldn't have done that? Like,
so, you know, you're astute in pointing this out. Is it a crime? Probably not. But a lot of these radio personalities, TV personalities, famous folks in general that work for somebody have a non-disparagement clause, which means, in other words, you cannot say bad things about your employer during your employment or after your employment. It's a part of the reason they get paid all of that money. So I don't know if her agreement has that in there. I suspect it may. And her attorneys may be having conversations with attorneys from iHeart, and you may see her issue some type of an apology at some point as a result.
If not firing, or
if not firing.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with Darius. I believe Justice's days are numbered. I believe in the next couple of maybe a year or 6 months, we're going to be talking about breaking. She's been let go.
I don't think she even really wants to be there though. But even at the time that she got hired, there was a whole bunch of controversy at first that she wasn't going to join, and then she did. But I think the rumors of them saying that they were going to always, or they were always entertaining the idea of a fourth host, which I think honestly that brings a lot of balance to the show, especially now because DJ Envy and Charlemagne are just irksome at times. So I think honestly they should have had two women for a while.
They're supposed to.
Yeah, and so I think that was supposed to happen for a long time. I think that the way they integrated though Lauren into the cast and then had her doing Just with the Mess while Jess is there, instead of actually giving Lauren her own segment, especially for like actual news and things like that, that she would have been a powerhouse at, and then allow Jess to stay with Just with the Mess and stay in her comedic lane. That would have brought the balance of the two women and had them shining in their own talents, but they didn't do that. And so I think that this is a multi-level, it's an onion, is multi-layered to this issue that were not addressed, that were not done correctly on many people's parts. So I think that all of this is just a hot mess. Everybody has a fault in this. Jess should have definitely kept herself off the internet, because at the end of the day, the Breakfast Club is a whole conglomerate, it's its own brand that you just need to take that behind closed doors, because you don't want to sit here and be one of the largest stages of morning talk show. So morning radio, I should say. But yeah, I think everybody had a hand in this. She should have definitely kept her butt.
And it's a test. Like, I feel like they were testing her to see how can you get along. Like, me looking at the show, I'm looking like, okay, are they like trying to figure out if she can get along with somebody else if they bring another person in? They could have just brought Lauren in just to see, like, okay, is she gonna be able to actually work with another woman? Not the
replacement. I think honestly they looking at getting rid of her.
Yeah, and come to find out, Lauren's getting a whole nother show. So
I don't think she called it at first, but then she came back with a clue.
Right. And you just sold your whole tail on social media. So now they're looking at you like in a whole nother group chat, girl, we need to figure it out, because she can't even work with other people.
And future employers.
Yeah, that's where she messed up.
You just go live in your living room. Like you're not a part of the whole brand now.
I don't feel like, for me, when I watch the Breakfast Club, and I don't think she even fit the show. Like, for me, her energy don't match with them. Like, it's not there. Like, that's not her gig. She needs to go gig somewhere else. So
I don't want to drag this out. This is not over. So as you know, I just heard that Lauren got her own show.
I don't think anybody, if I would end with anything, I don't think anyone at war in any way, shape, or form with Charlemagne is going to work for the Breakfast Club, because he is their star. So I think you need to have a rapport with Charlemagne.
Well, I know for sure that's why somebody else didn't take the job, because of him. But we'll talk about that.
And that's okay, but
doors.
Charlemagne is a Breakfast Club, so.
Let's go to our next subject. So this video caught me yesterday. It was been going viral on Instagram and Facebook and TikTok, and I got a little lump in my throat watching it. But the Black social media community are not feeling it, and they're angry. Of course, they got to be angry at something. Watch it and you tell me what you think.
Husband surprised his son by taking him to the prom.
mess up that makeup. Gather.
Look down. Let him cry. Oh, he's crying. Oh my God. Oh, you made him cry. Wait. Let's let him fall on the floor. Let him fall on the floor. Oh, poor baby. I know my son is going to cry. Hold on. Thank you so much.
So it's pretty self-explanatory. A father took his son to prom. What do we think? I'm gonna let Darius take this first.
Well, first of all, I live because I'm wearing that color.
Yeah.
Yes. I don't know how that father's child identifies, so I'm just going to say they. I initially, when I saw it, I was like, I had to do a double take. But at the end of the day, I respect that father. That's a father that loves their child. You don't have to love their child. You don't have to love how their child identifies or chooses to dress or anything, because that's his child. And if he and the mother and their family rallied behind that child and supported that child and loved on that child, that's all that matters. I think so many times, so many of us spend so much time in other people's houses instead of tending to our own.
Preach.
You know, love that which God has given you.
Right. Okay.
I personally did a double take when I saw it. I thought, ooh, this is a little gay. It was a little gay for me too. And then I had to, goodness gracious. And then I had to examine my response, and I think
it's so stupid.
It was a little gay.
Go ahead.
I realized upon examining my initial response that I was taken aback, not only by seeing it, by the visual, the idea that a Black father would do that, but it was a moment of acknowledging that I've never felt that level of support from a parent ever in my queerness, my gayness, and I can't imagine having it. I didn't come from it. I don't know too many people who may have experienced something like that. And so, yeah. So it threw me for so many reasons, but definitely acknowledging that I've never experienced that. Is that something that I think I would have wanted though? I don't know. I can't imagine it. I think that at the end of the day, any child that feels truly loved and supported in their skin by a parent is fortunate. And so I think that that's where I also end, right? It's just that, wow, cool, Dad. Like, that's a lot, Dad. That's a bit much. I don't know that parents need to start taking their kids to prom, or do we really need that much support? But wow, wow, for that level of support. And I cannot relate to that. I can't imagine having that. And so that kid is fortunate. That's where I land. And
Tasha?
That, yeah.
Tasha?
It was beautiful. I was overwhelmed. That's definitely a level of fatherly love that I wish I could have experienced in my lifetime from my own biological father. So for him to have that, that was beautiful. That was amazing. I think that this is where it just sucks being a Black gay man in America, because if this was a daughter and a mother, this wouldn't even been a conversation. This wouldn't even been a big deal. And this is where it just sucks, because God forbid a Black father show unconditional love to his Black gay son.
Right.
So that, and honestly, that's the part that breaks my heart. And that's the part where it's like, I kind of wish that they didn't show it because of all the scrutiny and the attacks that they're going to receive, and which is not fair and it's not warranted at all. And it just sucks that people can't just actually see a parent loving their child. But
Right.
I thought it was beautiful.
Before I move on to other co-hosts, let's get into these comments. Marcus said, "And that video, I understand the dad was bothered by it at first and had an issue, but then he came to himself and decided to choose loving his child over anything." Okay. Michael, what do you think about that video?
Yeah, I agree with what everyone has said. It really was nice to see unconditional love in a father supporting their child. I made the mistake of reading the comments, and I have to say they were very horrific. And there was a lot, you know. This still, at the end of the day, you know, this is a child on the other end of it. I thought it was really kind of off-putting that strangers would feel such comfort in saying really horrible things about a child, just kind of examining the same dynamics that Tasha was speaking about. Like, you know, it's a cold and cruel world sometimes. It's very discouraging, I think, to see that. And again, I wonder sometimes in situations like this, will this attention, even though we can perceive it as something loving, you know, will this ultimately be a bad thing for this child's life? And I can't help but wonder. But again, good to see the unconditional love, you know, from a father to a child.
Most definitely. Tamar.
Okay, so I think that this is amazing, and this bothers me with the Black community. They're just like, you can't pick and choose what's wrong and right. While you over here beating your wife and doing all these other things and stealing and killing, but a man wants to support his gay child, and this is so sad in the Black community. Like, I am a gay man, and let me tell you, people will use my services every day, all day, every day, all day, but won't support me as a Black gay man being gay, but will want me to do their hair, do their makeup. Hey, girl, you look good, but when it comes to who I love, it's an issue. That is so thick in this community as a whole.
And it goes back years and years and years.
It's just so baffling to me that you have the audacity to put your fingers on your phone or computer and give an opinion about someone's child and how they're raising their child. Not even understanding that this man had an issue with his child. But for him, he's a man and he's able to say, you know what, I'm wrong and I need to love my child regardless of who they are, what they love, and what they choose to do or be. I don't know what's going to happen. Like, we're in a state right now where we don't need to be doing all this. And I think people priorities messed up. Half those people's probably ain't got a pot to piss in. It just bothers me when I see shit like this. Excuse my French. It really irks my nerves because I can truly say as a Black gay man, I have to work hard daily because I am a Black gay man. And I am in spaces where I have to show up not thinking I'm a Black gay man. I have to show up thinking I'm a Black man.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
What are you first?
I'm a
gay man.
I'm a gay man, but also too, I work in a very professional setting. So sometimes I have to really watch. I work in a hospital, so I have to really watch how I'm like showing up because also like there's people around me, and for me, I'm really big on not offending people. Like, I never want to offend you when I'm in a certain space. Like when my nieces and nephews, I know how to like, okay, this is not the time for me to do all this. Yeah. But I think for sure, I never change who I am, but also at the same time, it is heartening. It is really heartbreak. It breaks my heart to hear that all these people, and I read the comments and I was just like thinking to myself, like, we're still in this place where instead of you saying like, congratulations for supporting your child, or I'm so happy that you were a man, you chose to diminish this character of this father.
Yeah.
And so it is so sad that we're still here, but I'm grateful that they did that. And I'm so proud that they did it because guess what? Somebody else's father needs to see that. Someone else's fathers needs to be able to show up for their child because people have suicidal thoughts and you just don't know. So I don't know. It is saddening, but I'm also happy that they did it because we don't have a lot of fathers like that in this community. No, so it's good to see that.
This comment my mom made, but I think they see black before they see.
And that's what I wanted to address because, like, we're both black men, so I feel like when I look at you, I don't think gay. That's another black man. Who you choose to love or how you identify, that is secondary. When people look at me, they see a big black man.
Well,
yeah, you don't have to come out as black.
Hold on,
come out as gay, but you ain't gotta come out as black.
And I asked the Tamar that question because I feel that we are in a time where it's gonna come down to us being black or gay.
What can you hide?
And hold on, let me finish this, and I'm trying to get it out. When there's a black issue, a Black Lives Matter, or Rodney King, George Floyd, we rally, us gay black men rally with our black culture. But when there's a gay, something with gay or a pride, or we don't have that support that we give to our community over here. Does that make sense? What I'm saying?
Yep.
No, for sure. And that's why I didn't support Black Lives Matter. I'm just gonna be real. I did not support the movement. I know, because I do agree. They're trans. If you're a gay anybody gay in the black community, you will not get that same support. And that is sad to me. For me, I'm a black gay man. And so anything that deals with anything LGBTQ plus, and it's an issue, I do a lot of things that I don't post about. I like to do things that's not really out there in the forefront, because also I don't really need to show everything I'm doing. But at the same time, it is really real. Like, there are so many gay people that will show up for so many things outside of being in this community. And when we need it the most, we're not getting it back. And that is sad to me. That is really sad. But now I really appreciate the father doing that. I know that was probably hard for his pride, for him to let go of his pride and stop being stubborn, and him just show up for his child. And that child right there had a moment with his father, and in a moment that you will probably never know what their story is, because we're only seeing this video. We don't know the trials and tribulations of what they went through getting to this place.
Yeah. As much as I like this conversation we're having, we got to move on. But I just wanted to show that video and give it get it out there so other people can see it and, discuss it. Sometimes we get deep on this show. Sometimes we don't. But anyways, Jay-Z, Beyonce, and Kanye West are in the news. Kanye went on a Twitter rant, a 24-hour Twitter rant last week. Everyone caught strays. Jay-Z, Beyonce, their kids, Jews, everyone. But this tweet, out of all the tweets, is what caught my eye. You guys know I'm a Kanye fan, but this is when I had to look the other way. This tweet says, wait. Has anyone, quote, let me put quotes, wait, has anyone ever seen Jay-Z and Beyonce's younger kids? They're the R word. No, like literally, and this is why artificial insemination is such a blessing. Having our children is a choice. If Twitter take my shit down, then so be it. But I need y'all to know Jay-Z or nobody have no power over me. Kanye.
Blue Ivy needs to go beat up North. Yeah. That's just honestly.
Kanye is
that's
so
the
talented.
Only solution. That's the only solution to this. Blue just need to go beat up North now. That's really it.
Kanye is so talented. I wish he would just design clothes, rap, and produce. Like all this other stuff. I know he's hurt. I know there's some hurt down there somewhere. But come on, Kanye. People's kids are off limits. Let's go to my mom said Kanye's mentally ill. He might be. We are a little mentally ill, maybe. Michael, what do you think about this?
My first response is, we said the pre-show, I thought this was fake, right? I really thought there's no way, someone just made up that he said this. There's no way he actually did. And then I, found out he actually said it. Obviously inappropriate. And listen, in past shows over the years, I've come down kind of hard against Kanye. I think at this point, though, there is a spectacle involved here that makes me deeply uncomfortable. I think he's unwell. I don't think anyone in their right mind would do the things he's doing. And, for whatever the reason is, these rich folks sometimes get surrounded by enablers or folks that are even still pushing them to keep earning or to create controversy for their own ends. And man, he needs support. I just feel bad for him at the end of the day. Yes, this is horrible. Yes, this is horrible. But wow, something's really wrong here.
Natasha.
We've been saying that man needs to go seek help. He ain't the only person that's lost a parent out here. Life goes on. I understand that might have affected him worse than most, but at this point, he definitely needs to just go off the grid for a good 10 plus years and get it together. We don't need to see him. We don't need to hear from him. And Blue needs to go beat up North. And that's just it.
I think that when you are an a-hole and you are incredibly wealthy, you can be empowered in your a-holeness. And that's not to say that Kanye isn't also mentally ill and all those things. I'm sure he may or may not play a part in it. He definitely seems like his meds are completely unbalanced. But he can afford to live like that. See, in the regular world, when you start ranting and raving like that, you start losing your job and your family won't let you come over. And then you can't afford your $2,200 rent and it ruins your life. When you are at the level of success that he is at, bad behavior is more money. It's more views. It can almost empower you. He can afford to weather storms. And so I think that makes him more dangerous. I think evil people are more dangerous with resources. And so he has leaned into the evil and he has resources. And so he is twice as evil. And I think that just is what it is. And I do not spend a lot of time anymore saying I need to pray for Kanye. Kanye is in a position to be helped. You can lead the horse to the water, but you can't make it drink. And you can't make it drink if it got on gold hoofs. So it just is what it is. That's how I see it.
Let me throw out something radical. How many instances lately have we had celebrities, and it's revealed only after their extreme downfall, that their inner circle was actually playing a really big part in keeping them out of their right minds and keeping them doing things just like what Kanye is doing now. And what I'm saying is he's so isolated now from anything that could be perceived as normal. Is it possible that the people that are left around him are, doing what they did to Michael Jackson, keeping him on horrible drugs? And this is just, I don't want to make light of it. I know it maybe sounds like a conspiracy theory, but we've seen this play out time and again. It could be happening here.
I'm not saying that it's not possible, but what I'm saying is with women, they end up in conservatorships and it's terrible. Men are just roaming a little bit more freely. So I find myself struggling to really lean into that because men tend to have more freedom in general. I will also say that I'm not saying that is impossible, but what regular people do is we end up being responsible for the circle that we cultivate. And I think that we should also hold rich people responsible for the circle that they cultivate. Now, if he ends up later and stuck in a cage, then we'll free him. Until then, I would like to see more personal responsibility with Kanye. And somehow this man has eluded it for like 20 years, and it's gotten old, in my opinion. And you don't talk about people's children. We just need to leave people's children alone.
That's the biggest thing in the story, period.
But I really don't even think that Kanye West is even in a really great mental place. Like his mentality, like mentalness is off.
Well, I think we all off these.
And this is what I'm going to say: conservatorships. With those people that are in conservatorships, they have family. I don't even know if Kanye West even have family around him, and I do believe I agree with Michael. Like when you're around people that are not good for you, but they say yes to everything you do,
Employees.
you
That's
continue to do the stuff that you're doing. And all I'm seeing now is a cry out for help. He's wanting Jay-Z to probably say, hey, what's going on? I'm here for you. What do you need? This was, you got to think about, they were best friends.
I feel like Kanye is a narcissist. He's
for sure.
And what does it say when Kim Kardashian is the better parent? Let's say about Kanye.
Not too much on Kim.
I'm sorry. We know Kim. We know how she became famous.
I agree, Darius. I agree.
But also,
hold up, I'll finish.
Yeah.
Kardashian and her family, which do nothing but you pimp black men and have mixed babies to use them to earn a bag.
Oh.
I said it because it's true.
That's true.
What does it say about him that Kim Kardashian is the more appropriate parent?
But with her, I agree everything you're saying, Darius. With her, she has family around her. She has nannies. She has maids. She has all these people in place. Kanye West
has employees.
Yeah, I don't think, but Kanye West, we got to remember everything went very sour for him when his mom passed.
Choose better resumes.
Okay. Yeah.
But I don't think he needs to be like, the thing is, the kids thing, I don't know why people automatically go for people's kids. Like, that is so weird to me. Why are you calling these people's kids the R word? Like, that is not right.
About North, he would have nutted up.
And
that's what I'm saying. That's why Blue got to go see about North now.
We got to wrap this up. But what I will say, I think at the end of the day, Kanye really loves his children. I believe he's a great dad.
Yep.
I believe.
Let Blue go see North.
Whatever. And actually, Tamar made a very good segue to this next. He's talking about conservatorships. Speaking of conservatorship, our girl Wendy Williams is in this wild web, tangled web of a conservatorship. And since I've been looking into this Wendy stuff and this Britney Spears stuff, these conservatorships are really difficult to understand. It seems legally they're difficult to get out of once you're in them, but they're very easy to get in. So I would really like Michael to help us out here. But it seems like Wendy's restrictions are getting lighter from what I hear. Is what everyone else is hearing? Natasha, have you heard that?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay. And she's on her way to maybe getting some freedom. That's what I'm hearing. Is that true as well?
Yes, but it seems like things are still kind of confusing or still kind of up in the air, because I remember where they were saying it was going to be lifted, and then Breakfast Club the next day had to redact that whole story. So it sounds like the web is starting to get untangled, but we're not completely free yet. So I think that her most recent medical exam, when she went to emergency, and she was cleared of her, from at least that doctor, of the diagnosis that she previously had, and that she was completely normal, so to speak, in her mental capacity. That's definitely going to help her. But now I think it's a matter of what the conditions are of this conservatorship is, and how
this judge and this conservator,
because it sounds like they might be colluding together as well.
Yes, it does.
So
yeah.
So I have a legal question for Michael. First off, so how is a woman who is a billionaire, has worked all her life, all she did wrong was get drunk, and her son touched her money. Her son was, going through her money, and it alarmed the bank. How did that end up in a conservatorship, trapped in a room? How does that happen? Like, if it was my broke ass in that situation, nobody would care. So what's the difference?
So before I launch into that, I will say this great, what you just said is evidence that Wendy's PR team is working overtime, because public opinion on this has shifted
to loosen.
And I think people are left with the impression that these things are easy to get into, difficult to get out of. That's not the case, and I would be very reticent personally to talk about collusion between a judge and a conservator. The I don't like to think of the bench that way. Okay, that's a road we shouldn't go down.
Okay.
Celebrities can get into these situations, these conservative rich folks. It is like a wealthy person problem. If you don't have anything to look after, then no one really ever wants to look after you. But if you've got stacks and stacks of things and cash, then wow, all of a sudden people looking out for your best interest, you can't swing a stick without hitting one or two. What I just said about Kanye in our last segment, I repeat again here for Wendy. I think she's had the wrong people in her inner circle for quite some time. Who that is, it's tough to say. Some would say her husband, some would say her son, some would say it's certain managers or family members, but whoever worked behind the scenes to get this information to the powers that be clearly gave enough evidence to get her in a conservatorship. Now, all these rumored changes or restrictions being lifted, that all has to be approved by the courts. It's not something that you can just agree to if you're having a good day or being perceived in a right mind. It's a whole process. And I wish her the best. It's hard to say how severe her condition is. It does seem like it was enhanced a bit by a problem with alcohol. But that in and of itself can lead to a long-term complete lack of capacity. And it's a very sad thing to watch. Again, I wish her the best, but this is not an easy thing to get into. And I hope she gets a little more freedom.
So I respect Michael as an attorney, and he knows the law and all that jazz. But Michael, I have to ask you, I have to go back to where you said about the judge and the conservator. The information that she was totally incapacitated came from this legal team, this judge and this person who is over her conservatorship. So, and now we as people are saying that she's not totally incapacitated. So that makes us think, there's some, you know what I'm saying?
The judge is doing the job description of a judge. They don't create the information. The information is given to them, and they have to make a choice one way or the other. It's a very heavy burden to decide somebody's freedom in any capacity, right? And I think, while we're in the cut on these things, it's easy, I think, to come down in favor of Wendy Williams, say she doesn't need it. Remember with Britney Spears, it was the same thing. Well, now some time has passed since Britney's been out, and it's very plain to see she does need some help, I think, to live a life that works for her and keeps her family protected and safe. Again, I'm trying to be diplomatic here. So things are not as cut and dry as they may seem, just because, in the moment, people are saying, oh, Wendy's not so bad, she's not so bad. Maybe that's one day out of 2 weeks she's like this, and then the other 13 days we don't see her. It's tough to say.
But with that being said, I very clearly remember a moment in time when we were very much so talking about dementia and Alzheimer's, and given what we had seen and all the footage that we had seen, anytime we saw her, it made absolute sense. And so, when you go from that moment to now, and there are moments of lucidity, and she is on the radio talking, and there was a time when we didn't think that she was capable of even doing that anymore.
Right, yeah.
Those are conditions that don't improve.
Shift. It's too big. It's too extreme, and it makes you go, "What's going on here?" And I think it just casts absolute doubt on any and everybody touching her case. To be able to believe she could have dementia, to listening to her have an actual lucid conversation with Charlemagne and crack jokes. How do you go from that to that?
You can't because you can't have a degenerative diagnosis but then actually improve your condition. That's not how that works.
You're horribly wrong there. Somebody really messed up there. And
free Wendy Williams, like they want to free Britney. We need to free Wendy,
or just redo it. Maybe pull her out and then figure out the right way to do it. I don't know, anything other than she has dementia and now she's talking to Charlemagne. That's crazy.
Well, at the end of the day, I know we all want to see Wendy back in working in some capacity, and that's what she wants too. She said it on something she was on the other day. She wants to get out and work. So I'm excited.
Baby, with all the stuff that's going on, with everything that's going on, this is the right season for Wendy Williams. Like this is the season for her to be on TV.
We can get her back in that way, y'all.
Baby, listen.
She clearly needs to get out of what she's in.
I want her down in Florida.
Work every day and have her venti cappuccino and do her thing. I ain't saying that's where she is.
Let me tell y'all something.
Is my cousin trying to shade us? The show is definitely improving. We were improving when we debuted.
Every show has gotten better.
Listen, The Impossible is Nothing. Like, I actually watched her 4-part documentary on Lifetime, and she was kind of off. But then you heard, like you say, it is something different. Like, she's on the Breakfast Club and she's speaking like Wendy Williams. We don't know what could have transpired within that time. Medications, like the right.
Probably stopping drinking. Drinking.
I mean, that
was
would still go to like detox, rehab situations.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you, drug addiction does play a big part in people's psyche. And we don't know what drugs or anything can be in that person's body that can affect them in a way that they show up. She could be really sober right now and really could be getting back her. Because let me tell you, when you use drugs, because I'm in recovery, and let me tell you, the moment you use drugs, it stops your learning process. Your brain takes a halt. Like I used drugs from the age of 15 to 30. So 15 years of my life was gone for me on drugs. Think about all that time I wasted using substance. So I had to learn a lot when I got sober. Like, I've been sober almost 8 years, but I had to learn so much in these 8 years just being sober. Thank you so much. But maybe she's really sober right now, and maybe she's really getting back her that she had when we saw her on TV. But she might need more work, so yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever it is.
Well, we wish Wendy the best, and we want her well and working. Well first, then working. Let's move on. Let's move on. This next clip has been going viral, and y'all know I don't fuck with Boosie at all. At all. But he really made some sense on this interview. He sat down with Jason Lee. They were just talking about
world clock is right. What?
We were just talking
about that.
We were talking. They were talking about current events, and Boosie made a lot of sense. I know Shaq might have a problem with what he's about to say, but let's listen to this.
Of course, he got a freako.
But the
you ever heard of a Rico by your damn self?
The 500
It's a freako.
500 dildos and
I don't give a damn. You're a freak. I don't give a damn. If I want my bitch to watch, if I want my bitch to get another dick while I watch, while money going everywhere, call another dick up, go buy something after that. I don't look at it like it's a crime. Freako. You're just freaky. He did what? Met a girl at the studio and they ran a train. He put dick on her and flew her out. Is that a crime? Freak. I just was thinking of all the stuff he was charged for. God damn, he freaky. This man, he don't deserve. You don't give him a bond? Who did he fucking... Bro, it's a black billionaire, bro. Gonna be hard on him. That's why, because he's a successful black man. That's why.
Why nobody?
And they fucking over him.
You said I feel Diddy in jail for basically doing what every other famous entertainer has done.
Every other rapper, you gotta understand, and they building this case on Diddy to get all us on the back end. Cause everybody gonna fly out. How you think we gonna see a bitch? You gotta fly out. Every bitch we fly in, every bitch you fly in, you gonna give her something. A little $1,000 before she go home. That is sex trafficking.
Right.
You gotta watch who you fly in. They didn't flip this rule to take all us down, and nobody sees it. You can't be too freaky now.
Right.
They didn't flip this around to take all us down. Because when Mad Day come, when you flew that bitch out, when she called back and tried to extort you,
Whew, that was a lot. Everybody's head is like, I'm Team Boozy on that one because he's done nothing wrong but be freaky. That's it.
I got one question.
Hold on, because just hold your horse.
Oh, Jesus.
Okay, Natasha, ask your question.
I just got one question.
Darius is next. What?
Did all parties consent and were all parties over the age of 18? That's all I got.
Oh, okay.
Okay, because if it's not mutual consent, then this is not the conversation that we can have.
Has anyone reputable come out and say they were
Cassie?
not of age? That said they were
Or
not
that they did not
age?
consent? Or that they did not consent?
Has anyone reputable came out?
Has anybody reputable said that they did not consent? Yes, Cassie.
Okay.
She was high. She could not give proper consent.
Okay. That's one. Darius, what do you have to say?
I do not support anything Boosie said because I think Boosie is the ignorant son of a bitch. But I believe that, this is to Shaq's point earlier. Money, privilege, and power will make people think that they can do anything and that the consequences are different for them. I think that a lot of what Diddy has been accused of, I believe it is true. And I believe that there are other people involved in this that potentially could be taken down along with him. Diddy has escaped accountability for lots of things that he's done, and now the chickens have come home to roost. Boosie is not somebody that is credible to me in any lane, because for all we know, he could have participated in some of those freak offs, or this is the same man that they brought a prostitute in to give oral sex on his teenage son and his nephew. So he has no credibility to me.
You know, Ash, I'm weary.
Okay, go ahead.
This train talk bothers me, right? Because that is such a thing. It is the predatory nature of the male and female relationship, right? And that's not to say that some women will not enjoy it. I'm not saying it isn't possible, but I am saying that anytime we are having conversations about trains in rooms with highly successful men and women, I think that there is a predatory aspect to it. I think that it is very hard to discern consent in a room full of powerful people and some broke chick that's bent over. And I think that what happens, the first thing that popped in my mind as he started up with the train talk was men, particularly men with power and or money and influence, have been behaving poorly for so long that they have normalized predatory behavior. And so with a straight face, you were saying, oh, he just got with some girls and ran a train. That's just a freak off. No, that is possibly painful. That is possibly not consensual. That is slightly dangerous. And we should have more details if it's gone so far as to have led to charges and people being incarcerated and people sitting behind bars. I'm not saying that those things can't be consensual. What I am saying, though, is that is bad behavior as he spoke it. And he very casually spoke it like it didn't mean a darn thing, right? Like he just said it so casual. That's a freak off. He even turned it into a slogan. Bad behavior, rich men behaving badly. And now they can no longer tell when they're behaving badly. And they're talking about it like it's Tuesday. Like yesterday, you guys woke up and said, you know, we're going to run some trains on some people and have some freak offs. And then we're going to go to Starbucks and get some lattes. It's a freak off kind of morning. This is not what they're out there doing. This is what
they're grown men. They're grown men.
Okay.
And the women they're fucking are grown with. Allegedly, they're grown women as well.
Mm-hmm.
we get, you guys, I think we get sometimes on it so bad that, you know,
These
the
things
women
happen
didn't consent.
consistently.
What about the women who do consent? You just heard Britt Eady on Real Housewives of Atlanta say she was a video vixen when she was in high school, and she's bragging about it.
Yes, because bad behavior does become normalized, and it becomes a thing that we're talking about casually.
Okay, so Shaq, you're saying it's the men's fault that Britt Eady was a video vixen in high school, and now she's bragging about it.
I do not want to blame every man, but what I am saying is that patriarchal society has created normalcy around degradation of women. It just has.
Okay, we'll leave it there. We'll agree to disagree on this.
We should make a change. Because guess what? Like, I don't think my dad woke up and grabbed his coffee today and ran a train. I think he probably
the difference between I agree with Ashley, with Britt Eady. The difference between her is that she actually acknowledged who she was, and she was not ashamed about what she did. And that's the difference. Now, it's so tricky because in some of these spaces, you just really don't know all the details. I mean, he said a lot without saying a lot. I agree with both parties. I agree with everybody. I agree that he is basically justifying Diddy's actions, allegedly, and he's also, I agree with Ashley, he's also saying like, hey, everybody's doing it. We're all doing it in Hollywood.
We don't all ran freakos, and we don't all deserve to go to jail.
But for me, Diddy, we're not sure. When he's saying that about him, I think that's the wrong person to use as an example. Because you see all the things that have been done where things are still unfolding. But I mean, honestly, Boosie's Boosie, and he's crazy. We don't know what's gonna come out his mouth. I agree with Darius. Also agree that Boosie that's just who he is, and he also is. For me, he does a lot of cringy things. He's very cringy. So for me, I feel like he's always trying to find a moment to stay relevant. I think this was just a moment for him to stay relevant. I just think that this situation is still touchy for the Black community in a whole. And this is what I'm saying, like when this goes back to the whole son and gay son and dad. Like this is normal for us in the Black community, but when it's a father, it's like people pick and choose what's good and what's right.
Right. Yep.
And so to me, we bypass the stuff that we see that happens with women or men, because men get the same things done to them. But when it comes to like a moment that's very sentimental, we judge it, but we don't judge stuff like this. Mm-hmm. So it's tricky on both sides, but you know, everybody has an opinion about the whole situation. I just think everybody's look on it is very valid. Very, very valid.
It's a freako.
Yeah.
Those are the.
I would like to say, hold on. These comments are coming in now. Well, it's difficult to have rational conversation about bad behavior when there is a felon in the White House. Ooh, I didn't want to go there, but
drag.
Boozy is just freaking ignorant. I'm judging. Okay. I just want to let people know I do care about victims. You know, I'm not taking either side. I am heavier on the side of, you know, the cancel culture stuff is wrong because I've been in that situation. I know how it feels. So
some hoes need to be canceled.
You said what?
Some hoes need to be canceled.
Let's go on. And you know, we can agree to disagree on this show, but at the end of the day, we all respect each other and we're still family. So audience, don't get no ideas that we feuding, because that ain't what's going on over here.
I'm gonna go live tomorrow. I'm about to post all of y'all live.
Ashley ain't running no freakos. Ashley, where you at? You at Whole Foods.
Right.
Minding your business. And that's kind of the point I'm making.
And in this bed watching Golden Girls in 15 minutes when we're done. Is that all? Oh no, we have. Okay, I want to try to get to two more. We might not have time. Yolanda Salvador, famous for killing pop sensation Selena, is up for parole. She's trying to get out.
They need to lock her away. Throw
What
away.
do we think? Now this is a real debate. She's done her time,
Ain't no
says
debate.
the law.
You don't get to kill
Hold
Selena.
on. Says the law. She's up for parole. I don't know too much about this kind of stuff, but she's up for parole. So obviously, she served her time. Ish. Why not come out? She's rehabilitated. Maybe. Why not? I always take devil's advocate side. So let's go. Shaq, I know you giving me a look. What do you have to say?
You ain't ever gonna catch me on anybody's camera saying that somebody who kills Selena should be locked. I don't care what she served. She has not served enough. They need to put her up under the jail, throw it away, compound it into the ground, and then build a building on top of it, and then name it Selena headquarters.
Can I ask Michael really quick? So she's up for parole. That means she served the allotted time that the judge originally imposed.
So parole eligibility is a part of the sentence that is not necessarily tied to the length of the sentence. Like you could get a 10-year sentence, but be eligible for parole at some point prior to that, anticipating maybe good behavior or changed circumstance. I mean, very few folks serve the entirety of a sentence these days. But on this one specifically, look, I understand how horrible what she did is, but we are a society of rules and laws and justice. And I have to believe in my heart that folks can be rehabilitated and change while they do the time that they deserve to do and pay their debt to society. I think we have to be careful with kind of inflammatory rhetoric around certain crimes or certain folks, because listen, we get it wrong sometimes. And to think that a person could never have a chance at freedom again for a horrible thing that they did at a young age or at any age, really. I mean, she's an older woman. What's the harm in giving her a shot at freedom? It doesn't make what she did any better. It's just, listen, this is what our society is designed to do. It's not, why do we want to keep people locked away?
Mm-hmm. Any Darius, do you have anything to say?
Because it's Selena.
Let her old ass stay under the jail and let her bones rest. And I hope everything that she did to Selena is done to her.
Mm-hmm. And somebody need to go find Zimmerman. Remember him? Throw him in there too. We let all the wrong people go. Make it make sense.
And you know why I feel that way? And it's not, because so many people have had their lives wasted sitting in a jail cell or a prison cell for crimes that they did not commit. Their lives were ruined. She took this woman's life. So therefore, she forfeited her own life.
Okay.
I mean,
honestly, I think if she gets released, she's gonna be out. She's gonna be
writing books
in some form of a prison anyway, because she's gonna be running for her life no matter where she goes. She's gonna have to go live in the middle of Montana somewhere to be safe. So, I mean, she's not safe either where she goes. It's gonna still be some form of prison, unfortunately.
I would be up in Chipotle and run up on the lady that killed Selena.
Y'all is so crazy.
I'll knock all the shit over in that Chipotle. I would knock all the shit over in that Chipotle. I better not. I better not.
Let me make sure I get my bowl first before you do it.
It wouldn't be no barbacoa available if I run.
We're gonna see what happens with that. That's funny. Okay, this last story before Fashion Files, I want to get in really quick. I don't even have all the pictures for it, but I want to talk about it. Tony Busby, who is he was the attorney for the young lady who said and now has retracted that Jay-Z raped her. He was the attorney for another young lady that said Diddy raped her, and now she has retracted her story and said it didn't happen. And now he is it's a lot going on. So now he can't try any cases. They're just barring him in, I think, New York. Michael, help me with this.
Yes, let me, before you say the wrong thing.
Yes, go ahead. Yeah, please.
So this actually has very little to do with the truth or veracity of the clients that have retracted their stories or anyone else he's representing. My understanding is he's got a couple of dozen folks, various accusers on some of these famous types. What he did, though, is something that even a junior attorney should know better than to do. As a part of our profession, we have to be licensed to practice in the jurisdictions that we want to show up in court in. And my understanding is that he is licensed in the state of New York. That's great. This is a federal case. We actually have to apply for a license or for admission to every single federal court, no matter where it's at. For example, I am often in the state of New York. There are 4 federal courts in the state of New York: Western, Southern, Northern, and Eastern. If I'm admitted in one, doesn't mean I'm admitted in the others. So if I have a case in the Southern District of New York, which is where these cases were, that covers New York City, and I'm not admitted, there are 2 options that I have as an attorney. If I'm going to be there all the time, I can apply for a permanent admission to the court. It's kind of a longer process. They do the background check. You have a swearing-in ceremony, and after that, you're good to go. If I'm just there for a short while, for 1 case or maybe 2, you can apply for something called pro hoc vice admission. That's a temporary admission that expires when your case is completed. Sometimes courts require that another attorney admitted to practice in that court sponsor you. It's like a test to your character type of deal. It's not a very difficult thing to do. I just did it myself in the Western District of New York a few months ago for a case that I had there. All he needed to do for these cases was to file an affidavit when he filed the lawsuit applying for this pro hoc vice admission. He's kind of coming out now after the fact to say, oh, I didn't think I had to. It could have been reciprocal from this other district. All of that is absolute BS. He was told to do it for several months. You're supposed to do it right when you file the lawsuit, and he simply didn't. So for him not being admitted to these courts, that's the reason why.
So, Michael, I have a question.
Oh, well, he deserves this.
I have a question. Why do you think he didn't handle his business? Do you think he was just so excited about filing these lies and trying to make a name for himself, or what?
Maybe he's not good at his job.
I think he probably made the mistake of putting his name on a brief or a complaint or some other legal document. He's got co-counsel that he said that's admitted in that court already. It's fine for their name to be on it. And if he helped with that work, maybe he could put his name in a non-signatory capacity. But once you put your name on a legal document and you sign, that you've done this work and you're filing it in this court, that's him now on the line. And I suspect that's what he did. And he should have known that he had to file, for pro hoc vice admission or for full admission. Why he didn't, I can't even imagine a good reason. I mean, it is a very routine thing that you would do right at the outset of filing your lawsuit.
Gotcha. Okay.
This sounds really elementary, like something real basic that he didn't do. And so now, of course, this lends to the fact of of all his credibility for you to skip over something so basic.
And for so many cases too, and then to try to kind of do this dance around it after the fact as if it was somehow justifiable. As a professional, it's really not. It's like the equivalent of a doctor sewing a sponge into someone who just had surgery, forgetting to clean up the mess.
But it can happen though, and sometimes it does happen.
It does.
Okay.
Lawyers, and then there are D minus lawyers, right?
So yeah,
with the D minus lawyer here.
I just want to touch on that story because I find it a little interesting that he is in all this trouble after he represented those girls.
I haven't not heard this. I don't feel like he is worthy of our discourse.
Right. Anyways, let's go into fashion files really quick. We have a few looks that I want to get to tonight. What is my mom saying? Wow, Michael, I feel like I just went to law school. Michael, you're very thorough, and I appreciate that. And we all appreciate that.
You made me feel like Kim Kardashian. I can get a lawyer.
While we're taking this break before we go into fashion files, if you know someone, if you're out there watching, know someone who is a good technical person with podcast and videos and cameras and mics and all of that jazz, please inbox me. And you have to be professional, passionate, and just not getting into this yesterday. I need somebody who knows this stuff because I don't. I'm doing it all myself. And it's getting to me now, and I need someone to help. So if you're out there and you're watching and you know, say, hey, I can help you with that, or like just inbox me. Of course, there's pay available, and we'll chat. Anyways, okay, let's get into Fashion Files. I say that because we're about to do some bigger stuff on this platform. Everybody knows we've said it, and I'm just going to need more help. So here we go. First look, we have Jennifer Tilly from the Housewives of Beverly Hills and Chucky movies, and Michael Schmidt. Is it a love it, hate it, nah, or what do we think, Tamar? Yay or nay?
Yay, I love this. Jennifer Tilly, like this is her vibe. This gold on her looks great. The hair looks great. I mean, she's it. Like you can't take away this look from her. Like this looks so good. And I mean, come on, the boobs are boobing, honey.
And she's so rich. She's so
honey.
rich.
She owns half of the Simpsons. So
yeah.
Money.
Darius, yay or nay?
Yay.
Natasha, yay or nay?
Yay.
Okay. Michael, yay or nay?
I like it. Yay.
Shaq?
Yeah, I like it. But if I might be honest, I kind of feel like she's about to perform on a cruise ship or something. Like it's
giving very Roxy.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm supposed to say here, but I don't know. The high fashion, it looks like one of those shiny fits that people wear before they do I don't know, shows or something. I don't know, but I know whatever, she looks great.
And you believe she's in her 60s?
Yeah, I don't
She
know
looks
what
so
smoothie
good.
she's taking, but I want one in the morning.
Baby.
Okay, moving on. We have Landon Barker, son of Travis Barker, Kourtney Kardashian's stepson. He's in Dolce & Gabbana. Tamar, yay or nay?
Yay. I love this.
Darius?
I guess, yeah.
Michael?
It's a yay, but only because he's young. Don't wear this if you're over 25.
Good point.
I give it a yay.
Okay. Our comment says yay. Yay. Okay. Shaq, yay or nay?
Yeah, he looks like a young rock star. I like it. He looks nice.
Which he is. All right. Moving on. We have, and these are some of, I never thought these words would be coming out of my mouth. But Kandi Burruss.
I'm trying to tell you.
Kandi Burruss has gotten a hold of
Fantasia
Hampton stylist, Fantasia stylist. His name is Danny. That's his real name. His Instagram name is I forgot what his Instagram name is, but he styles when he styles. But Kandi is wearing, this is what is this? I said this was, I think Alexander McQueen. No, it's Laquan Smith. Do we love it?
Yes.
Tamar, yay or nay?
You know what? I don't know what she's doing with baby. Kandi look young and she looks scrumptious and she look amazing. Like this is not a Kandi I'm used to seeing.
Right. Yeah.
This
is not
and the gag for me is the hair, the bang, honey. The bang is banging. So yeah, this whole look, I like the peekaboo back. I like the red that pops out. I mean, she's giving sex siren, like for real.
Darius, yay or nay?
Girl, yes.
Okay. Michael, yay or nay?
This is a yay, and I will say this. It's indicative of a new trend. 80s reference points that are a lot more subtle than those we've seen in the past. I mean, look at the shoulder pads, look at the heels. You know, this is good. Good for Kandi. I like it.
Yeah. Natasha, yay or nay?
Yay for sure.
Shaq, yay or nay?
Yeah. You know, she's never been one to give me tingles, but lately.
Comments. Marcus says Kandi looks like Grace Jones mixed with a Coca-Cola Oreo. I don't know. I guess it's just me.
Marcus is really...
Moving on, we have Beyonce in Retro Fete. Tamar, yay or nay?
What are we thinking about? This is a yes.
Yeah, there's no thought to me. This is very dynasty 80s.
Why are we
I love it. I love it. I'm just over here fucking with y'all.
was
I mean,
just
it's giving very like I'm that girl, and every time I walk into a room,
Hello.
it's me. The hair is giving. She looks really good. Like I don't know who's styling her now, but her styling.
Beyonce has 5 different stylists.
Well, whichever stylist she
She
calls
needs to
today got a
stick
good
to one or
chick.
two.
She look good.
Okay. Before I go on, Beyonce has a stylist for her shows. There's one girl who does all her shows. Then there's a guy who does all her appearances. Then there's someone who does just award shows, and there's someone who does like every day out in the town kind of thing.
Yeah.
So, Darius, yay or nay?
It's Beyonce. Yes.
Yes.
Michael, yay or nay?
It's a yay.
Natasha,
It's a yay.
Shaq.
And absolutely yes.
Going on, she's on our list again. Candy in.
Hold on, Ashley. Before you move on, can you highlight Marcus's comment?
No.
Who Darius?
No,
I never see the library
gotta-
like that, but
there was another comment that he said.
Darius is messing tonight.
Yeah, not too much on Beyonce, Marcus. Not too much.
We don't need no problems from the behind, baby.
Okay.
Candy in Area. Area is the shit right now. And they don't dress everyone. So for Candy to be in Area is a big deal. What do we think? I love it. Tamar, yay or nay?
We are living a single oh, the 90s kind of world. Come on, Khadijah. She's giving Khadijah vibes all day long. Come on, Queen Latifah. I love this look. I love the handprints. She's basically saying, like, touch me because I'm that girl.
As the resident lesbian, I approve that whole exchange.
I think the caption for this was "My play bills pay bills" because she's producing a lot of plays on Broadway right now. So
you can come pay some of mine. I have many.
Darius, yay or nay?
Based off of what we just saw from Candy a couple minutes ago, I'm gonna say no.
Okay.
Okay. Just saw.
Natasha.
I don't like this one as much, but it's still a yay.
Okay, Michael.
This is one of those ones. The more I look at it, the more I like it. So it's a yay for me.
Yeah.
Well, Marcus Candy look like a train conductor.
Yeah, I don't really know what's going on, but I'm here for it. I'm with it. I like those little slits and how it's giving little glimpses of things that I ain't supposed to see. Hello.
Okay, moving on. We have Young Miami and Vivian Westwood. We got to move along. Tamar, yay or nay?
Yay.
Darius?
Yeah.
Shaq?
Sure. I don't know. Yeah, sure.
Natasha?
Nay.
Michael?
To the beach?
Yay.
I don't know.
Okay. Next we have who is this? Selena Gomez in Mugler. Tamar, yay or nay?
I love her, yay.
Darius, yay or nay?
Nay.
Shaq?
I like it. It's pretty.
Okay. Darius?
Oh, nay.
I'm sorry. I already got you. Who do I need? Michael?
Yay.
Natasha?
Yay.
She look like she run a marketing agency or something. I'm with it.
I want all of it.
Okay, and our last look, we have who is she? Who's this? This is Elena Anderson. She is in where is it at? Chanel, from head to toe. Tamar, yay or nay?
Hey, girl. No, I mean, I like it for where she's at. I mean, it's a look.
Okay, Darius.
She's like she about to rob a bank in high fashion. I mean, but
She about to rob a bank of Aspen or something, you know what I'm saying?
Space Alien Collection. Hell no. Everyone's hell no. Okay, Michael, yay or nay?
This looks like knockoffs. Nay.
Okay, Natasha.
Nay.
Okay, and Shaq.
And no.
She
Is
with
she
the
cold?
city friends, y'all.
She's cold. Okay.
Come on, city
Okay,
friends.
and so for the last part of our show, really quick, somebody, I was having a conversation with someone the other day, and they asked me, what is the final straw of a friendship? How much do you tolerate before you say, I'm out? Of a true friendship, like someone you've been friends with for maybe like 15 years, 15, 20 years. What is the final straw with? So I know everyone's going to have different answers because everyone has different feelings. So let's do this really quickly and try to help this person out. Natasha, you have, and this can be like a round table. Everybody can just speak in. It doesn't have to be one at a time, but
It's such a loaded question, but I guess for me, where either party is not being served anymore, or um boundaries, when your firm boundaries are not are being crossed, which could cover a lot of things, but firm boundaries are being crossed.
I want to expound upon this. I have a very close friend, very close, like children's godmom, and we had a tough falling out, and she said some stuff to me, that really hurt my feelings, and I remember when we got to this whole "I'm done" part, I said, "How are you done?" Because I thought that we were for life. At this point, we are family. We are sisters and sisters.
right.
And so I feel very strongly that, when friendships span that much time, it is for life. And so for you to get to this point, for us, what I can tell you for us personally, the problem actually stemmed from something at the beginning. So a very early grievance we had that we had never worked through, because I actually am not a confrontational person, if you can't tell. And so I have been happy to let it be under the rug, but things that we do not deal with will continue and they will come out at some time. And so we are all these years later and it came out. And my biggest issue actually wasn't what was happening in the moment. It was what had happened before and how it had kind of reverberated throughout our friendship. And so I would say to someone, I would question if maybe your problem isn't something that you've never dealt with from the very beginning. It may be worth it to go back to the beginning, wherever this thing that is eating at you enough where you want to throw away this many years, you should probably go back to the beginning and ask yourself what happened there. And that is something that maybe you need to approach. And if you feel like after all this time, it is not worth talking about or dealing with, then maybe this friendship is something that you let go. Because if you have been in each other's lives that long and you are not willing to deal with something, it says that the relationship isn't exactly what you've allowed it to become. And I will say this: people will sit in things long term that they don't want to be in. I know there's this misconception. Oh, I care about you.
Rewind that. Say it again. That was a good
We
quote.
will sit in things that we don't want to be in long term. And then you'll hear that argument. Well, if I didn't want to deal with you, you think I still be dealing with you? But actually, yes, people will remain adjacent to things that they don't like, because there's something usually in it for them. Maybe they like the drama, or maybe they feel like they're going to miss something. I don't know. Maybe they think that person is going to hit the lottery. Maybe they're just a hater. There are reasons. But what I can tell you is that every long-term relationship in your life isn't actually full of people who like you. Someone can be your friend for 20 years and they dislike you. That can happen. So if you really want to let it go and you're not willing to go back to the beginning and figure out what created that rift, maybe you should.
Can I pose a question to the group really quick? Do people believe that there are
Oh, and me and my friend, we healed that because we feel like
okay, good. Do people believe that there are roles in everyone's life and everyone has a time?
Yes.
Yeah, it's time for you to go. Like some people, it's kind of like the tree of life. Some people are like branches. I mean leaves. Some people are there to show you they're there to teach you a lesson. Some people are like branches. Like you just don't know when they're gonna fall off, but then all of a sudden you're like, damn, what happened? Like I don't even know what happened. Like, but the roots are the people that are there for you unconditionally. I mean, for me, I had one time I always thought I was a good friend, and I had someone ask me, "Do you even know what the definition of what a friend is about? Do you know the definition of what friend is?" And I had to go look up the definition, and I was not being a good friend because I was doing a total opposite of what the definition said. So now for me, I look at things as if I don't need to compete with my friends. Like I need to be happy for you no matter what is going on. Like I need to be there. And also if you can't show up the way I feel, I gotta give you space because sometimes everybody can't show up all the 100% all the time. And that's okay. Like I have some friends now that I will go months without talking to them. And then we pick up the phone and we can talk like, hey, what's going on? But then if I have to hear you say, you don't call me, da, 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 da. It's like people have lives. So I don't need friends in my lives that I have to constantly like nurture and be there to hold their hand every way we go. Like,
well, at the end of the day, we're all grown and we all have lives.
Yes.
And
I do think
happen. You know,
I do think it's important that even with long-standing friendships that you take time, periodically to evaluate those relationships.
Yeah.
I think one of the hardest things for me was to realize that was to separate from somebody who I perceived to be my friend for years and years and years, not, sometimes overlooking the fact that we had grown apart and it was really me holding on to the friendship title, or that person might be secretly envious of you for whatever reason, or they're dissatisfied with the way that some things happen in their lives.
That's good. Yeah.
They resent you for things that maybe you had nothing to do with.
Yeah.
I had a really good close friend that fell out with me and another best friend. We was like the trio. We did everything together. But what I saw looking back on it was his life did not take off the way that he wanted it to. Career-wise, he got into substance use and some other things. And I think he grew resentful, towards me and our other mutual friend. And so I felt really bad about that for a long time because this is the person, like we went out to eat, don't worry about it. Come on, we got it. We went out.
Right, yeah.
Don't worry about it. Come out. Then I started thinking all them times, has this hoe ever bought me anything to eat? Has this hoe ever offered to pay for anything for me?
That's
good. I started thinking. And then I realized that sometimes that the relationship was really like, what's the term for it was not reciprocal, that it was really like,
it was just one-sided.
It was a parasitic almost type of thing. And understanding that we do help our friends out in times of need or whatever, but you was always in need.
Yeah, that's good. Someone who's always in need.
I think that he resented us for things that happened in his life that we had nothing to do with.
And well, make people hold on to you too.
Yeah. Well, that was good.
And if I gotta always ask you how you're doing, if I'm always saying like, "How are you doing? How are you doing?" and it's always something with you, but you're not checking on me as a friend. Like I feel like if I'm your friend, we friends. We ride or die. Like I got you no matter what. But sometimes I think people don't know how to give you that same energy. So you have to. It is hard. It's like it's a relationship.
Yeah,
that it's
just
hard.
Like an relationship.
Oh man, a friendship is a whole relationship. Honey, and when you let it go, it's heartbreaking. You're like, damn, what did I do wrong? You start questioning yourself. Like,
I would argue a friendship is harder to lose than a relationship because the thing about friendships is that they persist. So
Mhm.
relationships come and go, you fall in and out of love, but friendships kind of they go with you throughout your relationships. They go with you throughout whoever you date, whoever you marry, your children coming and going. You know, friendships can be forever, and they can just kind of persist, and they can linger on. And because friendships often, most of the time, they do not include the physical intimacy, that also makes it, I think, easier to build it, right? Because sex changes things. And so the beauty of a relationship is you get all of those things without that complication of the sexual energy, you know. And so I think that friendships are they're harder on you. That loss is harder on you.
Yeah.
Platonic love is man. Platonic love is beautiful love, and it's hard to lose it.
Well, we've gone almost 2 hours tonight, so we got to get off here. But I think we had a great show tonight. We thank our guest co-host Darius. He's not even a guest anymore. He's in the room. Did you guys see he's in the room now? He's in the group chat now.
I'm like, every time you say co-host, I'm like, child, who? He's a co-host now.
But we love having Darius come over here. And there's people who ask me, is Darius going to be on there? So you do have people who look forward to being
you. I appreciate it. I love y'all. You know, I love y'all. I try to, I'm not doing as much on the other platform right now. So, you need me, just if I'm free, I'm more than happy to come over.
All right. Well, I love you guys, Michael, Shaq, Natasha, Tamar, Darius. Thank you guys all. And to our viewers out there, please like and share. We are about to, like I said earlier, try to step our game up. If you would like to donate, I forgot to put that. I don't like to beg because I don't beg nobody. If you would like to donate to our cause, that was my birthday now, but I still have the same thing. My Zelle or Cash App, send what you can if you want to, a few bucks. If not, just give us a like and share. That's free. So we love you. We will see you next week, and peace. See you later.
Bye.